today we have a question from Evie from North Carolina. I think it's a very important question, probably one, I know it's one I had. Did you ever have this question?
I'm trying to think of the question. I don't remember. It's a good question.
Physical boundaries
yes.
in dating.
Yes.
We know what the question is, but we haven't compared notes on our answers. So she was married before. She says that she and her husband were too frisky, in her opinion, before marriage, although they did not have sex. She dated a man a few years ago that was on the opposite end of the spectrum. She said he gave her a firm hug after 9 months of dating. They were long distance. And then most recently, she dated a guy, went on 2 dates with him, and he was on the other end of, he thought heavy petting was okay during dating. He did profess to be a Christian, had been to seminary, and he said no intercourse, but he asked her what she thought about French kissing, and how can he know if she's going to be a good kisser if they got married and if they had never tried it, all this kind of thing. And he said in his profile that he likes to snuggle and cuddle. He told her on their first date that he's very affectionate. So the question is, where is the line during dating, also during engagement, on physical affection? This is such a big topic. I have a couple preliminary thoughts, but then to answer the question about the line. One preliminary thought. The argument, it kind of makes me mad as I'm starting to talk about it. Uh-oh. The argument that how can I know if you're a good kisser, or this is going to feel good with you before we get married, if we don't try it, makes me very angry. It's the world, first of all. Yeah. It's false logic. Marriage is about so much more than kissing and physical intimacy. I mean, if I were to assign a percentage, physical intimacy, yes, that's important. But as far as can we get along and have a good marriage, that's probably 0.5%, maybe. I don't know.
I was going to say 1%.
Okay. We're within a fifth of a half a percent. Half of 1% standard deviation.
Pretty close.
Do you have anything to say about that real quick before I go on to my next point?
That would have been my point also. It's, for one, I don't know how far you're going on to the next point, but if that's the pressure, if that's the point, it's why stop there? Why not?
Yeah.
Why not go all the way? Because
that's going to if it's going to be good sex or not.
That's right. And so that's just a slippery slope of faulty thinking, and it is the world that's not, and it's not respectful. It's a very disrespectful way to put pressure on another
Selfish.
person. And I would not envision that relationship ever working out well if that's what they're in it for. So
makes me
there you go.
Okay. Here's another thought. I might just do my preliminary thoughts, and maybe we record another video with the actual answer to the question. Sorry to be so long-winded. This area, as many areas are, is a valuable window into this man's character and his beliefs about God. I kind of expected the man when I was dating to come out and tell me, I'm going to be a good match for you. I would make a great husband. You don't learn those things by someone coming right out and saying them and being black and white about them. You learn those things by watching their actions and noticing their responses to certain pressures and that kind of thing. So this area, I think, is a great way to tell what kind of husband this man would make. Yeah. He's exhibiting, like we already said, selfishness. But when you put up a boundary, does he respect the boundary? Does he ask you more questions about your stance? Does he say, oh, that's interesting. I've never heard that. Can you tell me more? I'd like to learn. Is he teachable? It tells you about his views about God. Yeah. Do you have anything to say about that? This is a valuable window.
I think it's
into the man's character.
Yes. And I always look at dating or the relationships as, okay, Well, if he's doing this while you're dating, it's going to be exactly the same way when you're married.
Times
it's not like you're
1,000.
going to put the wedding ring on and his character is going to change. So, if you're unhappy and this is a problem now, just put a ring on it and it'll get 10 times worse because now you've made it legal.
Yeah.
So
And permanent. Okay. Number 3 point before we actually answer the question. Physical bonding slows bonding in other areas. I think that's proven. I do not have the research to cite, but you've got to get to know each other in multiple areas: physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, all those kinds of things. And once you introduce physicality into a relationship, those other areas of growth and bonding slow down or stop. I don't know about you, although I kind of do know about you because I bet you're the same as me, that I wanted to know as quickly as possible, is this the man for me? Should we keep dating? I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to go down a rabbit trail or to a dead end. I want to know as quickly as possible. And so why would you introduce the physical, especially early in the relationship, when that means that's going to slow down your information gathering process so that it takes you a lot longer to figure out who this man really is? If you guys actually have a solid basis for having a good relationship or not, it kind of works against you. It's not in your best interest.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. And so I think once you go down that path, it clouds you.
Yeah.
I think the thing, and I don't know, I'm thinking back to our relationship. I don't think we worked things out very perfectly at all in this area, but
I think we did.
Okay. The thing that I will say is you at some point, if it is a serious relationship, I think you should be able to have dialogue around it, and you should be able to come to agreement on it.
Yeah.
And you should be able to then set, these are our boundaries, and be in agreement. These are the things that we're going to do. And in my opinion, it's the man's responsibility to protect. And so it's his responsibility to put safeguards around himself and the woman to make sure that he's respecting the boundaries that you guys have agreed upon.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go into what the boundaries specific and holding hands, all that, but I will say that there should be agreement, and that there should be let's not just always be trying to press the boundaries, because I think it's going to demonstrate, I think, how well you're going to work together in marriage also.
Yes.
Like, are you able to hold boundaries together? Are you going to parent well together if you guys can't come to an agreement about how standards work
Are you
in a relationship? So,
are you going to be able to make decisions, especially if you have two different views on something?
right.
How are you going to work together to come to agreement, not, have discord between you? Yeah,
Right.
this is just...
Is one partner going to accept influence of the other and be respectful, or are they going to continue to pressure and persuade? And I'd say this is really a good area to be able to look at and see if that's going to be the case, because it's a natural desire. Men have the desire, and it's there. I mean, and it's strong, and it's present, and it's real. And so to me, it's, a good area, a good indicator of self-control.
Yes, it's strong, but it's not impossible.
It's not impossible
for a man to control himself.
Right.
It's not, they call it a need, like his needs, her needs. Oh, I need this. And that makes it sound like it's food. You've got to give it to me or I'll starve to death. That is a lie.
Yeah. It's not a need, it's a desire. And there is a big difference.
Mm-hmm.